Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome everybody, it's Chris back with yet another edition of Scentland Fragrance Reviews, and today we're gonna be taking a different approach to a fragrance than before, because I have reviewed this one already twice. But I would like to look at it from a different angle in order for me to be able to provide you with a sort of user's manual on how to approach this fragrance, how to use it, how to apply it best in order for the wearer to appreciate and enjoy this fragrance to the utmost, okay? But in order to be able to do that, we have to travel back in time, and we'll go back in time up until 1978. The spring of 1978 saw Karl Lagerfeld doing a fragrance launch, and actually this very same evening, spring of 1978, Valentino did one. Both did that in Paris. Valentino rented the Maxims, while Karl did his fragrance launch for his very first male fragrance at his apartment in Paris. Okay, that already tells you his personal dedication to the fragrance itself. Okay, very rare today, and I compare this to a launch of a fragrance like this by any designer at that time in the 70s, 80s was a major event. It was much anticipated, okay? Very much like I like to compare this to a rock or a prog rock band announcing their new album, okay? And the entire LP, the cover art, the list of songs, A side, B side, it was a complete complex piece of work, piece of art, okay? And the audience appreciated it accordingly, okay? So that's how it went. And the reason is there was much more time to actually deal with something like this. Today fragrances are, raining down like it's really, they're pouring down like it's rain, okay? Every week sees a new fragrance introduced. That was not the case in the old days. In the old days, every few years, or every 10 years or 8 years or 5 years, 4 years, came a new release. So you had to wait, and the anticipation was building up. So when it finally arrived, it was a major event. So Karl launched this at his own apartment. That was the major event, and his personal dedication, obviously, to this piece of art that he has done together with Ron Vinaigrette, the nose, the parfumeur. Okay. So when I mean user's manual, it has to do with time and application. Okay. So let's look into that. What you don't do with Lagerfeld Classic, this fragrance, is the following. Don't do that. Don't approach it like this. It's grandpa. It's dated. Oh, it's 70s disco. Oh, it smells like my grandma's handbag. And all that. No, stop it. No. That's not the way to approach this fragrance, okay? No. And I'll tell you also why. Because this fragrance is not about, orange, aldehydes, tobacco, picking out different notes. No, this fragrance belongs to a category that very few fragrances actually do belong, and I'm going to be mentioning a few. And that category is a legendary category, a fragrance that has become its own genre. It has its own smell. It doesn't smell like tobacco. It doesn't smell like aldehydes and all these notes being put together. No, it smells like Lagerfeld Classic. The same way like Fahrenheit smells like Fahrenheit. It doesn't smell like violet leaves and petrol. It doesn't make any sense, because by now it smells, that's the smell of Fahrenheit. Same thing with Chanel No. 5. Christian Dior Poison, just to mention a few women's fragrances, but also even Aventus at this stage. You don't say it's pineapple and smoke. It smells Aventus. I hate Aventus, but still it's true, because by now it has become a major milestone that defines a particular smell, the smell of Aventus, or the smell indeed, or in this case of Lagerfeld Classic, it's its own blend, its own smell. But in order for you to be able to appreciate it in an optimal manner, and here we come to the application, you have to apply this on your naked skin, upper body skin, 4 or 5 sprays, and then dress up, shirt, pullover, whatever you want to wear, and then keep walking through the day, keep doing your things. And what you will have is the fragrance reacting with your body chemistry and your body heat. Your skin chemistry and your body heat are going to be working with this fragrance throughout the entire day and help and assist its development. And that's when you're going to get these whiffs of satisfaction. This is when this fragrance will shine. This is where this fragrance will provide you with its real body. It's the smell of the blend of this fragrance. Okay, the complexity and the character, and this way you will see and learn if this is actually matching your character and your personality or not. If not, you test it. If it matches, it's great, and you and your environment will be able to appreciate this fragrance to the utmost. Afterwards, if you've done that, you can spray it on wherever you want, but I still say underneath the shirt, work it with your body heat. That's where this fragrance shines. And obviously you need to give it time. If you don't give it time, just smell it like this at the airport, like many people do today. Like they make a decision on a fragrance in probably 30 seconds or 1 minute. Nobody takes 2 days to test a fragrance. Maybe some frag heads out there, yes, but in general, the general public judges by the top notes and makes the decision to make the purchase. Okay, we're going to come back to that. So with this fragrance, you need to give it time. You can say, I don't want to give it time. I want a fragrance that shines on me, that I like, and I get compliments from. Fair enough. Can do this. Tons of fragrances that do that, exactly that. But then this is maybe not your cup of tea. Like many people don't listen to 70s prog rock music or classical music, which this is very close to, or even opera. You know, you give those type of scenarios and pieces of art, you need to give more time. Okay, but in your life, you give time to many things. You sit in a restaurant and wait for a nice Michelin star meal for 20-25 minutes, right? Rather than go to McDonald's where you get it in 5 minutes, okay? But there's a quality difference. Nothing against McDonald's, okay? That's a different genre. But, you know, you see where I'm coming. Yeah, when you put your time in, you get probably the quality you are looking for. So this is very much true in the case of Lagerfeld Classic. Now, a criticism that I read and hear in regards to this fragrance is that, oh, it's not like the vintage. Oh, it's not like it has been before. Oh, it smells different. Partially true, but only for the initial top part or the initial starting point of this fragrance. Okay, and the reason is that they have fine-tuned it according to make it more appealing to the modern market. Okay, because obviously anybody developing a fragrance knows that you know, people judge fragrances from the top part, from the top notes, and that's it. You know, still would be difficult to appreciate this fragrance from a top note, but it's still more customer friendly smelling than the vintage was. The vintage was very heavy, straight on, and would only appeal today to people who really like vintage, old style, like 70s, 80s fragrances, heavy, spicy ones. Definitely, but the orange is more here. The citruses are more present. It's more léger. The start of this modern take on Lagerfeld Classic is more léger than the vintage one. I've used this since 1995, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I've seen every release of this, used every release throughout 26 years by now. So the starting phase, the starting aspects of the fragrance are indeed a bit different than compared to the vintage, okay, because it's more léger, it's more easygoing, less in your face, and probably a bit more sparkling, okay. But then comes the magic, because if you apply it in the right way, as I said, on skin, and let it breathe the entire day, you will get exactly the same bouquet as you did with the vintage. So the whole discussion about, oh, this is different and less quality than the vintage is not true, because the performance is equally as beautiful, the smell, the bouquet, the main character is equally as beautiful as the vintage. Only the top notes changed, okay. Very, very important factor, okay. And one more plus, and that highlights the quality of this fragrance, is that it mellows in the bottle. What I mean is that if you let this stay on your shelf for 1 year, 2 years, it's only getting better. It's only getting better. If you give it 5 years, 10 years, it mellows like a nice Bordeaux, a red wine in an oak barrel. It just gets better and better and better, and closer and closer and closer to the Lagerfeld Cologne vintage, same fragrance, from the late 70s, early 80s. As even the color changes a bit, it gets it somehow really mellows and ages extremely well, this fragrance, in the bottle. Even on room temperature, you don't have to tuck it away into a cooler or whatever. This ages beautifully, and as it ages, it becomes even more similar, even at the start, at the first spray, to the original vintage version of Lagerfeld Classic, or Lagerfeld Cologne as it was called at its launch. Okay, the only quality downside or negative point that I can say compared to the vintage is this part. It used to be metal, and when you pulled it off in the old days, it made a sound like this, ting, you know, ting, and I found that very exciting for some reason. Today it's plastic and it doesn't do that anymore, but all the rest is fine. Heavy glass is still the design of Carl. He has designed the bottle itself, the whole appearance, okay? And it's heavy glass, very well made, great sprayer. Everything is very, very high quality with this, including sillage, projection, and longevity, as I mentioned. Now, before I finish, okay, there's only one big thumbs down. There's a big thumbs down. There's a big, big thumbs down with this fragrance. You're curious? You want to know what? Now, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what the only big thumbs down aspect with this fragrance is. And that is, if you use it, and then continue to use it, and probably use it some more, and then go back to it and use it, and reach for the bottle again and use it some more, and still some more, what's going to happen? That's the negative thing. There you go. An empty bottle. Got you there. Okay, obviously joking. Okay, but the good thing is that even if you empty a bottle, sad, it's not discontinued. It's there, is available even after 43 years now. It's amazing, and it has the quality, and it has the performance, and it's looking beautiful on your shelves. I love the color as well. So if you empty a bottle, the next bottle is right there, okay? So I hope I was able to bring this fragrance a bit closer to you, to provide you with a user's manual in order for you to be able to appreciate it in an optimal manner. And anybody who is new to this fragrance, to get to know and to make friends with this fragrance in a way that they can fully appreciate its entire beauty and complexity. So thank you very much. This was Chris from Sandland with the user's manual to Lagerfeld Classic from 1978. Thank you very much, and see you soon for another review.